Hello everyone and welcome to the continuation of the balancing. The video was cut short. I was almost done with the balancing, but this is the second video to explain this balancing. So this will be the last equation, and then hopefully you would understand balancing better. So this is a tricky situation. Again, as far as what I've said in the first video, we try to make sure that every number will be at a minimum. Okay? But for example, with a situation like this, the number is actually 18. So if that's 18, that's way too much. Okay? So that means there's a possibility that your h is going to be 18 as well. So let's try to count everything first. So C, H, and O. So, H is equal, your H on the reactant side is going to be 18, your carbon is going to be 8, and your oxygen is going to be 2. For your product side, your carbon is going to be 1, your hydrogen is going to be 2, and your oxygen is going to be 2 plus 1, which is going to be 3. Okay. Again, from what I said a while ago, since this is 18, we could actually try to make your hydrogen 18 right away. So, what number makes 2, what number can you multiply by 2 that becomes 18? And of course, that's going to be number 9. Now, 9 times 2, you'll have 18. 18 for your hydrogen. And then, 9 times 1, you'll have 9. 9 plus 2, that's going to be 11 for your oxygen. So far, H is in balance. Your oxygen, however, on the other side, it's not. So let's try to balance your carbon now. I think you're almost close because the only problem is your carbon and your oxygen. So let's try to multiply the carbon dioxide by 8. So 8. 8 times 1, your carbon becomes 8. 8 times 2, your oxygen for the carbon dioxide area is going to be 8 times 2, it's going to be 16. So 16 plus 9 is going to be 25. Now, this is almost perfect. However, a new problem arises wherein your O is actually even. However, the number of oxygen on your right side is going to be odd. So since this is 25, for coefficients, it's supposed to be whole numbers, right? But the only number that you can multiply, okay, the only number that you can multiply your oxygen with is 12.5. That would mean your C8H18 is going to be 1, 25, 8, and 9. Now, I'll erase some of the details. Now, let's try to rationalize. How are you going to be able to balance this? Okay, so there is one simple way. Since this is 12.5, this is just half, right? If you multiply this by 2, this becomes a whole number. This becomes 25. So the only way to balance this is you multiply multiply all of it by 2. Okay? So you multiply it by 2. Now what happens here is, instead of using 1, you're going to have 2. Instead of using 12.5, you're going to have 25. Instead of using 8, you will have 16. Instead of using 9, you will use 18. Okay, so 2 times 8, that's going to be 16. 16 times 1, that's going to be 16. 16 times 2, okay, 16 times 2, that's going to be 32. That's going to be 32. So 2 times 18, it's going to be 36. So your hydrogen becomes 36. For your hydrogen, 18 times 2, still 36. Now, for your oxygen, so 25 times 2 is going to be 50. Oxygen 18 times 1, that's going to be 18. So 18 plus 32 is 50 oxygen substances. 50 oxygen atoms. Anyways, that's how you balance this equation. So this is not the hardest, but I hope all of the videos were helpful. So that's one of the ways, or some of the ways, that you can balance your equation. So just remember, if you look at this the way I see it, okay, there is no final number as you try to solve this. So try to make sure that you try, and you can do trial and error, trial and error until you come up to the final balanced equation. Anyways, I hope that you learned something from this video. Bye.